your final score, about what you expect there from that outing from LSU. Facing an overmatched team, Anthony Eyanson, spectacular, 7 2/3 shutout, just the 5 hits, punched out 7. He was awesome. Man, you got just what you needed from your bullpen as well. They were awesome. You add that all together with a pretty even offensive performance, and you walk away feeling really good about the Tigers tonight against the 4 seed. That's how that one is. That's how that one is supposed to go. And now, look, man, Dallas Baptist, Rhode Island, they'll play, and they're going to play very early into the morning, and you will go into Saturday night with a nice advantage if you're LSU. In the winner's bracket. So there's plenty we can get into about the game. There's a lot of takeaways that I do have. More towards the back end of the game. I mean, honestly, what much more can you say about Anthony Eyanson? I mean, he has just been absolutely phenomenal all season and was again tonight. The curveball from Eyanson tonight was the difference once again. He had it working from jump, and you know what? When he really settled in was when he found the slider. Early in that game, the slider was not there for him, but once he found it, he settled in, and it was game, set, match from there. That team was completely overmatched, as you would expect them to be against the kid who could sneak into the first round later on in July, and he gave you everything you needed. And, there was a time I thought after 7 they'd take him out. They let him go back out there for the 8th, got two of the outs. They pulled him. He gets a great ovation, and that was awesome to see. But, I mean, there's just really not much more to say about Anthony Eyanson. He's been awesome all year, and he was again. I mean, the ERA is now approaching 2.5 on the season. He's just phenomenal. Credit Little Rock. I'll give Little Rock some credit here. They put the ball in play. Really good bat to ball against Eyanson tonight, especially when he had all 3 of his pitches working. That was impressive. He only punched out 7, which is far from the norm for him. He's normally way more effective with the strikeout pitch, but just big credit to them. And offensively, you know what? LSU, again, a slider for Jackson Wells. When he struggled early in the game, and credit LSU early in that ball game, they were able to get 2 runs in the first 2 innings, both with 2 outs, which you love to see. When they've been going good, that's been a hallmark of their offense all season long, and it was again tonight early in the ball game. But what the issue was, Jackson Wells was falling behind. The kid had a nice zip on his fastball. He really, really did. He got up to 94 a couple different times. So I mean, shout out to him for that. I did not expect that from a 5'11", 200-pound kid. He had some zip on it. The problem early in the game for him is he did not have his slider. And once he found it in the 3rd and the 4th, he was able to settle in a little bit, get deeper into the game than I think any of us thought he would after the first 2, and throw up a couple zeros. And you credit LSU. They got to him in the 5th again. That was Dickinson's first home run. And that ultimately ended up chasing him from the game along with his pitch count. What I will say, though, is when I look at LSU tonight, I see a great formula for them in the postseason. And it's one that they want to do all the time. It's hallmark of Jay's approach. They want to get the pitcher out early, run the pitch count up, and attack the bullpen. And against the teams in this regional, that's going to serve you very, very well. We talked about Dallas Baptist. What are they? They are offense and starting pitching. Their bullpen is the weak spot. We talked about Rhode Island. What are the Rams? They are offense and no pitching whatsoever. Same deal here with Little Rock. You credit Jackson Wells. The kid's a veteran arm. He led the nation in ERA in 2023, and he handcuffed you for a few innings. Once you got into the bullpen, you blew the game open. I thought Danny Dickinson was phenomenal. Obviously, the 2 home runs, that really set the tone for this offense when you needed it most. But I liked the two out offense as well from LSU for the most part tonight. And if this is a normal May night, LSU probably hits about 8 balls out of the park tonight. They scalded the ball all night long. They didn't punch out a lot. They didn't expand the zone. Great bat to ball. I thought, honestly, that's a really impressive night for LSU offensively. 7 runs, 11 hits. They played airless baseball again. Just really good. I mean, look around the country and see what's happening to 1 seeds. That's what you want. Remember week 1 of the season, we talked about this leading into the series against Purdue Fort Wayne. And that, you know what, yeah, LSU is a clearly superior team. They were number 2 in the country, all those things. But I wanted to see them just go out there and dominate them because that's what a clearly superior team does. This is kind of the same deal. I mean, Vanderbilt was no hit through 6 innings tonight against Wright State, and they squeak out a 4-3 win because inexplicably Wright State's coach pulled their pitcher at 76 pitches. But, like, there are tripwires out there for a 1 seed against the 4. Southern Miss tonight battling against Columbia. Ole Miss against Murray. Clemson was down for a while. There are tripwires, and plenty of them. So to see LSU go out there, just completely take care of business, that's what you want to see in this. And that's how I would liken it back to opening day and opening weekend against Purdue Fort Wayne, where, you know what, just go out there and dominate. Go out there and be the team that you're supposed to be as the 6th national seed. And I thought LSU did that tonight fairly well. Back into the game. Love it from Primo, love it from Rizzy. Especially Rizzy. Man, he came in just firing seeds, and that was greatly needed for LSU. You had a 7-0 lead. Just go out there, throw it up. You throw 100, kid. Just go throw it 100 and let them get themselves out. And for the most part, they did that, and that was great. Just strikes from him was awesome. Only having to use Rizzy and Primo sets you up extremely well. I mean, that kind of goes without saying at this point in the season. You have Myers, Shores, Newt, Evans, Cowan, and you have Cade Anderson on the bump. And whichever team you're playing, they're going to play into the early morning hours. They're going to get to sleep in a little bit, but you're going to have a bit of an advantage there. So I loved seeing Primo come in, get the lefty. That was great. And then, yes, Rizzy just a shove at the end. Slider looked good from him as well, and they could not lay off of it after the 98, 99 that he was throwing up there. That's what it can look like with him. And you know what? We've talked so much about the bullpen depth of this team all throughout the year, going back to the preseason and the fall even. And it doesn't always show up in numbers. What it shows up in is talent. And Maverick Rizzy's a perfect example of that. Maverick Rizzy's had his moments throughout this year, but he's been inconsistent. I don't mean this is a shot at Maverick Rizzy. I think the kid's going to have a magnificent career at LSU. I really do. And I can't wait to see it unfold. But that's a guy that you would consider towards the bottom of your bullpen. And you bring him in the postseason, and he's throwing 98. Like, that's what we all mean by depth in the bullpen. It's not always going to show up in numbers. But what it'll show up in is talent. And LSU is extremely deep and talented at that part of their team. And the bullpen, and specifically the back end. I mean, how many teams you think Little Rock has seen this year where that's come in a 7-0 ball game? Probably none. And they've played Arkansas and Ole Miss. But those games are so far out of reach, you didn't need to see that type of guy. LSU's got that guy. And y'all, that's massive. So I thought that was great. And again, you know what? Look, it was great to see Curiel with the 2-hit night. Loved that from Derek Curiel. The double he hit was awesome. I thought LSU took advantage of runners in scoring position really well tonight as well. Whether it was Jared Jones in the second, or whether it was Jake Brown in the first, Dickinson with the 2-run homer. LSU played the game that they needed to play. And now you advance to the winner's bracket. You have Cade Anderson on the mound. Let's get to some questions here. DJ Trauma, $5 super chat. I'm trying to pull it up. Jones, please wake up, bro. Do anything, please, Jared. Jones struck out one time tonight. He had an RBI single, and he damn near hit a ball over the fence late in the game for a 3-run homer. I really didn't have that much of an issue with Jared Jones's at-bats. I just didn't. So, I mean, you know, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. I will say this, though, about Dickinson, y'all. What was the conversation we had about Dickinson coming in? He was your hottest hitter. He was your hottest hitter on the team coming into the postseason. And he had a knock. He had a knock against A&M. He went 0 for against Ole Miss, but then again, your whole team did. And for him to come in tonight and hit those 2 homers, that's a great sign. Like, you talk about getting Jared Jones going. Danny Dickinson That's going to be huge in terms of that. If Dickinson stays hot, they're going to have to pitch to Jared Jones. And if they have to pitch to Jared Jones, he's good enough, he's talented enough that he's going to hit the ball. And again, he put the ball in play plenty tonight. It found the grass once, it didn't the rest of the time. That's the other thing, man. LSU, even against Jackson Wells, when he kind of settled in, LSU hit the ball hard all night long. They didn't have anything to show for it. When they got into that bullpen, they made him pay. You know what I did think was a cool moment was getting Brendan Katz in from Little Rock. We talked about that on the podcast as well. That's a guy with a lot of Louisiana ties. His parents live in Slidell. They both graduated from Tulane. His sister got a medical degree from LSU. So that was really cool to see. It didn't go very well for that kid, but to put him in against the home team, the hometown team with upwards of 17, 20 members of his family here, thought that was a classy move by Chris Curry, their head coach, and that was really cool. That's one reason I wanted to mention it on the show leading into this. So that's really all I got on the game. Let's take some questions. What do y'all want to hear about here tonight? Go ahead, ask anything you got. It can be about tonight's game. It can be about tomorrow, the rest of the weekend. Let's run through it. Questions? No questions. 0 questions from everyone in the chat. Smash the like button, please, if you have not already. Get subscribed up to the YouTube channel if you haven't already, as well as your favorite podcast app. That's greatly appreciated as well. Who would we rather face tomorrow? I mean, Rhode Island is the answer there. Yeah, Rhode Island's the answer, but you're going to face Dallas Baptist most likely. So, GN, does Guidry play at all? Guidry's out for the year. He had surgery on his back. John Sampson, who would I rather have LSU face? Rhode Island. I mean, the answer's the same. Like, I am not the guy who's like, you have to beat the best to win it. I think that's stupid. I want the easiest path so I can hoist the trophy. No one remembers who you beat. They remember that you hoisted the trophy. So give me the easiest path to hoist the damn trophy. That's all I care about. That's like, I'm never root for the SEC guy. I'm never, let me play. That's stupid. Like, no, let me win trophies and hang banners and all of that. Mr. Eggs, who do you want to start Sunday, understanding this is pending on who throws tomorrow? Well, that's the thing. I can tell you who I want to start is Kason Evans. Kason Evans is going to be in this rotation next year. I want to get him into that type of moment in a championship game, at home, packed crowd, to start. That's what I want. And also because I think Chase Shores has just been so comfortable in the bullpen, I'm not willing to move him out of that. He's been so awesome in the pen that I want him to stay in the bullpen full time now. He's comfy. So my answer to that is Evans. And I think you're in a great position to do that now because you have Shores, you have Cowan, you have Newt, you have a bunch of guys who can pitch for you in relief outside of Evans. Outside of Evans behind Cade Anderson. And if Cade Anderson is Cade Anderson, you're not really going to need those guys. So, I mean, LSU's in a phenomenal spot tonight. They really, really are. Let's see. Tyler Cooley, do you try and max out Anderson tomorrow, or do you have him on a pitch count? Tyler, I max him out. I let him go be Cade Anderson. That's why you got him out of the game early in the SEC tournament. That's why you did all of that, man. This is winner's bracket. It's marble game. You go 2-0, you're in the catbird seat, and I don't think there's a team in this field that can beat LSU twice, especially with the schedule that those other teams are going to have to play. Like, Dallas Baptist, Rhode Island, they're going to play until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and then have to turn around and play again tomorrow. One of them's got to play at 1 o'clock. So, I mean, no, I'm maxing him out. Andrew says Myers for a couple innings. Yes, you still have Myers. You still have Cooper. Like, they're in a great shape. That's why I don't think there's a team in this field that can beat LSU twice, because the pitching is so deep. It's what we loved about them coming in. Yes, I understand some of the concern with the bats, and I have it too in some instances, but they're so strong on the mound right now that I love where they are. So yeah, I'm maxing out Anderson 100%. He's not pitching again this weekend anyway, so max him out. And man, if he can give you a complete game, let him give you a complete game. I think that'd be awesome. John says, is Eyanson in the game one start of the rest of the postseason to stay on normal rest? That's an interesting question, man. It's one of the reasons I didn't think they'd flip him. There's a lot of things that go into that. They love matchups. They lefties lefties crushed Dallas Baptist for LSU earlier in the year. You started Connor Ware, Cooper Williams pitched. Like, they liked that matchup. That's obviously what they're going for here. If you have a Saturday, Sunday, Monday Super Regional, Cade Anderson would be on normal rest. Then you could have Eyanson go Sunday on extra rest. Like, there's a lot of different things that go into that. I don't think it's set in stone. I think they're going to play the matchups and go with that. DJ Trauma Gaming, another $5 super chat, says, Musa, they walked Curiel to face Jones. Bro had 66 strikeouts before tonight, got one hit. So this is my thought on why they walked him. They had a sidearm guy on the mound. That ball's naturally going to go into the barrel of a left-handed hitter, and Curiel had 2 hits on the night. It's not a bad move just to walk him in that spot when the pitcher's going to start behind Jared Jones with the ball. And also, for what it's worth, in that at-bat, Jared Jones missed a 3-run homer by like 2 feet. So forgive me, I'm sorry. I'm not going to freak out about Jared Jones. It's a 3-year sample. The kid can play. Like, I'm not going to freak out of that at all. I do appreciate the $5 super chats, though, DJ. You know that. Gray, yeah, the Milam. How about Milam tonight? I thought Stephen Milam was great. Couple walks, the double. Thought he got it opposite field for a minute there, y'all. I really, really did. I thought Stephen got all of that one to the opposite field and was going to hit a homer. But the double was great, and you know what's big for that too is Michael Braswell coming up behind him at the bottom. That's the other thing I really liked about LSU's offense tonight. They hit 1 through 9. Like, the top of your order was great. You had 11 hits. Curiel had 2, Dickinson had 2, Jones had 1. That's 5 of your 11 hits. We've talked about how great that top of the lineup is, and they were again tonight. But the bottom half also, Hernandez got a hit. Braswell had the double that scored Milam. Stanfield had a knock. Like, they hit 1 through 9 tonight. You're going to get 11 hits. You're going to do that more often than not. So, I loved that a lot too. Gray says on a normal south wind night, Dickinson would have 3 bombs. You're right. And Jake Brown would have had 1. Jared Jones would have had 1. Like, LSU would have probably hit 6, 7, 8 home runs tonight on a normal May night. All right, y'all get a few more in here, and then I'm going home. And I'll watch the game. I'll watch the game on TV. Scout them out. And we'll be back here, obviously, again tomorrow. Fry would have had 1, Zachary. Yes, like, it probably would have been about 8 home runs. Had the wind not been blowing in on May 30th, which is just stupid. DeGoat, you heard, should we call Got Lit? Absolutely. You should also go to gotlitlights.com and work with Derek and his team, because they do phenomenal work on anything that you need. Exterior outdoor lighting kings, man. That's Got Lit Lights. David says base running was really good tonight. It was. Stanfield slipped on the turf once, but he scored anyway. So base running was very good. So thing, man, look, that's what we talked about. Fundamental baseball. They just have to play fundamental baseball this weekend. They are better than all 3 teams here, like, unequivocally. And LSU did that. I thought the base running was actually great. I mean, the aggressive reads in the dirt tonight from LSU. Stanfield had a really nice one. Hell, Hernandez had a really nice one. So, LSU played a great game tonight. They did. That was clean. It was just clean. So, just really good, man. Really, really good from LSU tonight. That's what you're looking for. That's what you're looking for in that game and in that environment and everything, and they gave it to you. So, oh, look, Ole Miss lost. What a shame. You mean Ole Miss isn't actually great? Shocker. Tennessee should have got a higher seed than Ole Miss. Fight me. Tennessee had a higher RPI. They went on the road to Oxford and took 2 out of 3, but I guess none of that matters. Whatever. Oh, wait, I saw one there from Jason. What do you think is the over-under attendance for Game 2? I say 100 people. You know, look, I've seen a lot of, here's a couple more Dallas Baptists. I've seen a lot of DBU fans coming in for the late night, man. They're gonna go in there and rock the box. So, but yeah, I mean, over 100. But that's just because I think DBU brought more than 100 people. I've seen more than 100 DBU people since I've been out here. And Oregon's losing. Tanner, I understand that Tennessee lost 6 out of their last 7 series. Believe me, I get it. They also beat Ole Miss head-to-head on the road and had a higher RPI. Their resume was better. They just didn't have as many quad 1 wins, and that was the separator for Ole Miss. Quad 1 wins were the separator for Ole Miss this year, 100%. All right. Y'all smash the like button, please, on your way out. Please share if you have not already. That's greatly appreciated. Get subscribed up to the podcast on your favorite podcast app, as well as the YouTube channel. All that's greatly appreciated. Share, and be here tomorrow night after the winner's bracket. LSU and a team to be named later. My guess is DBU. And we'll have a full recap for you after that. It's been Musso at the box.